What is up, everybody, boys and girls, all of our beloved members of the Bama Bros Nation? It's your boy Bama, RLG here. Got the other half of the Bama Bros, Roll Tide Randall, on the line. Randall, what's going on, man? It seems like the injuries just keep piling up in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, another day closer, but unfortunately another day of bad news. We got some good news about DJ Dale. Nick Saban said he could be back as soon as next week. The Joshua McMillon injury, he was the most experienced guy, but even the coaches on the staff would have told you he's not quite the star athlete like some of the other younger guys that we have. That's going to give them a little bit more experience against the first team and get them broke in and ready for the beginning of the season.
Yeah, you're right on that. It's not as serious of an injury as it potentially could have been as far as how it affects everything else on the defense. The only thing that really worries me now is Dylan Moses must stay healthy. He is the only other middle linebacker that we have that's capable of being that mic that can call the defense on the field. McMillon, even though he wasn't the athlete that some of these younger guys are, most definitely had a more firm grasp on the defense and the nuances of what it takes on a play-by-play basis to get everybody lined up and to execute this complicated Nick Saban defense. So I think, though, that this injury is kind of a blessing in disguise. You and I have talked about it before. Nick Saban is almost loyal to a fault with his older players that have been around the program, and I almost feel like this would have been yet another situation halfway through the season where we're screaming at the TV, hey, we've got a stud on the sidelines, what are we doing here? And hopefully this will allow us to avoid that situation altogether.
Yeah, I think it could. This is still kind of early. You know, we got a few more weeks of camp. At this point, you're still just preparing for the season. We're not even into, do game planning or anything like that. So we've still got a few weeks for these guys to get ready, and I think we'll be all right there.
Personally, putting the analyst side of me to rest for just a moment and letting the fan part of me speak, the injury that really bothers me the most is the freshman Trey Sanders. I was super excited to see what this young man could do. I was just dead sure that he would be the guy to take all those touches and those passes that Joshua Jacobs had last year, that would be him. So, we're kind of in limbo on his injury, though. We don't have an official word on what it is. We've heard anything from a sprained ankle all the way to a broken foot that could cause him to miss the majority of the season. Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine just spoke with him, and he said that he was actually there on the sideline when Trey Sanders was injured, and he could audibly hear something pop in Trey's foot. Whether it be a bone or a ligament or whatever it was, Stephen said you could hear it. So that does not sound good.
Yeah, on last check, I do believe that we did get confirmation that it was a broken foot. It's going to require surgery, and he is going to be out indefinitely.
Ooh, man, bad news if you're Trey Sanders. Good news, however, if you are Jerome Ford, who is battling it out with Sanders for that third running back spot. And everybody keeps telling me not to sleep on this kid. Physically, he looks like he's made some really good strides between last year and this year. And I'll admit, I was one of the guys that wondered why we even took his commitment, just because of the numbers situation. It felt like we could have been okay with not taking a running back, but it looks like the kid's going to have to play now, so hopefully he'll be ready to step up and provide some valuable minutes for us.
Yeah, I think he'll be able to come in and play a big role. We also have four-star Keelan Robinson. He's came back. He's been practicing.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot all about him.
Briefly. Yep, and Nick mentioned him briefly in the press conference, and he's also one of those fast, pass-catching backs. So this could be an opportunity for him to get on the field and maybe take some of the catches that they were going to give to Trey Sanders.
Definitely need that second punch of that 1-2 punch combination. Najee Harris and Brian Robinson are just very, very similar in terms of what they can do. I'm of the camp that believes that by the end of the season, Brian Robinson will be our best running back in Tuscaloosa, even though he came in without the fanfare that Najee Harris came in with. but we need that other guy, that speed guy that can take it, to the crib. Najee Harris, for all he's done, he had some really good games so far at Alabama. The Georgia game comes to mind, where he was just kind of dominant in that game, but you don't see him breaking those 50 and 60-yard long touchdown runs like we had grown accustomed to seeing from Derrick Henry and Mark Ingram and even Trent Richardson. So it kind of makes me wonder if Najee might be slightly lacking in that top-end speed that allows him to break it and take it to the house.
We'll have an opportunity to see this season a guy we haven't got to see very much is Brian Robinson. Has a lot of potential. So we'll pay close attention to him and the other guys and see if maybe we can pick out a guy that can turn it up the field and outrun the secondary like we've been used to seeing in the past. That's
important in a Nick Saban offense, especially when you've got a quarterback, as bad as I hate to say it about Tua, that is injury prone. I know that's a terrible tag to have, but it just is what it is at this point. Let's just be real about it. We tell everybody we're going to keep it 8 more than 92 with him. Tua's injury prone. And you have to have that running game to pad that and keep some of that pressure off your quarterback.
Yeah, I think we have it this year. I think we maybe had it last year. We didn't use it very much.
I think you're right. I think it was there, and we just didn't utilize it. And, there's really no excuses in that department this year. With the offensive line that we've assembled in Tuscaloosa, we're talking about an offensive line that actually legitimately has the potential to be the best offensive line of the Nick Saban era. And that is incredible when you consider some of the lines that we've had in the past. I mean, you or I should be able to get 100 yards a game running behind those guys.
Yeah, we got some absolute studs up front.
All right, man. Well, Roll Tide Randall, we appreciate your time, man. We were just going to run through a couple of things on the injury situation to get everybody updated. You're actually the first one that's gave a definite update on the status of Trey Sanders as far as I've seen, so appreciate that, and we will get back with you here in a day or two as we get closer to the season if anything else breaks. Y'all stay tuned to the Bama Bros on YouTube. If you haven't already subscribed, be sure to do that to be eligible for giveaways and to receive notifications every time we post new content. We really, really appreciate you guys. Roll Tide Randall, got anything you want to say to the Bama family?
It's great, guys. The season's almost here, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.